Okay, are we back? I'm back, good. So we're up on Twitch. YouTube does this really annoying thing where YouTube, as soon as your connection cuts, it basically then creates another live stream with a different address, which is really annoying. So I've set a new live stream up on YouTube. So if you were watching on YouTube, there is a new live stream link, which I will give you now. Yes, that's the new YouTube link if anyone needs it. I do also stream on YouTube, yeah, so I tend to multi-stream on both platforms at the same time. Yeah, sorry about that. Basically, my internet just cut out for literally 2 minutes, but it completely threw everything off. Cool kids hang out on Twitch. Yeah, sorry about that. I hate it when I get technical problems when I'm streaming. It's so annoying. I have way too many characters. Not all of them are actually really usable. I have about 2 characters with really good gear, and the rest of them are just kind of there. Anyways, what were you saying about PSU? See, I don't know when it cut off. Oh, there we go, Brilliant's back. Yeah, so PSU, before I was so rudely interrupted by the internet, I was just saying I quite like PSU. I think the expansion definitely added a lot to it. I think base game PSU was a bit rough, but yeah, the expansion's pretty good. You love the summer lobby on PSO2? Oh yeah, I guess we do have a Sonic thing going. Speaking of which, if you play on Affiniate on PSO, they've added some Sonic characters to some of the lobbies and added, I think it's Open Your Heart as their lobby music. I remember this lobby, yeah. This was one where you have to just collect all the rings, isn't it? Which we'll be doing a lot more of this in NGS soon. By the way, if anyone is around on PSO2 and wants to do anything while I'm on Classic PSO2, feel free to jump on. I am just fine doing the dailies as well, but yeah, the offer is there if anyone wants to. Oh, it's going to take so long. There was no more here, was there? No. Again, why is this lobby so big? It has no business being this big. There is some up there I need to get as well. I'm going to assume there's jump pads or something I can use to get to the others. Yeah. Is there really none at all down here? It's such a waste of space. Oh, I guess he used the obvious Sonic jump pads. Yeah, that would work. I'm the only one over here because people prefer Twitch for some reason. It's a bit hit and miss for mine, so usually I have a fairly even split. I think obviously for today, the YouTube viewers might be a bit skewed because with the old video going down, that might screw with things a bit, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm assuming we got it because he's now got a Chaos Emerald. I'm assuming that's what we've achieved. Cool. Yeah, for this daily, do I have to do it in super hard? No. I might just blaze through it then in a slightly lower difficulty, just to get it done. Although the weird thing is it only shows the client orders on super hard, which is really odd. Unless I have another client order for that. Which is possible. Ah, yeah, we do. I don't care about that one. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Oh, is it called super chat? It's that long since I've got one on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. Moot did sperm. There's no notification on the screen for the YouTube side. Just I've mentioned this before, but basically Twitch and YouTube don't really like certain things being on screen, so Twitch don't really like you showing YouTube notifications, which is a little annoying. So that's why the YouTube stuff doesn't show up, but I still see it pop up. So thank you very much for that. All right, let's just rush through this, and we've already got the 30 kills for the Dragonkin, so we can just rush through to Quartz Dragon now, I think. That is not the correct way, is it? I don't think. Oh, it is. Cool. But yeah, if you do play this, I would not advise having as many characters as I do. It is not worth it. Hi, it's playable. Good to see it. Yeah, Draco showed me some Warframe yesterday. That game, I swear, there is so much going on screen. I was lost watching it on. It was just explosions everywhere. And I was very confused. You forget how slow Megid is in PSO2. Yeah, it is a lot to take in, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they've made it easier for people who are starting out. Well, that Reed does no damage. I'm going to assume that's Quartz Dragon. Playable was saying it took 60 hours to get to the first quest, but I think he took more. Yeah, I think you're weak to... Was it light, I think? We'll go with that. You were doing everything on the way as well. I kind of miss Quartz Dragon's theme. Like, this guy, he is an NGS. They've renamed him. I think he's called something like Quartz Godin or something for some reason. But he doesn't have the theme. I kind of miss all the, like, the PSO2 boss themes in NGS. Building down to myself, 3 days never looked so distant. Actually, I don't think you are weak to light, are you? I think you're weak to dark, like everything else here. Again, that's NGS throwing me off because I'm sure he's weak to light in NGS. Yeah, I do like that NGS has started to use some of the PSO2 enemies, because there was some really good enemies in this game. Hey Vector, good to see you. Gotta get Gimegid crafted. I was saying, Drac, realistically, like for the amount I play PSO2 Classic, it's probably not even worth it. Cause I just don't really play Classic very often. Maybe I should, but I think the issue for me is because I played it so much on the Japanese servers, I kind of just play it as like a side game now and again. I will say that fighting this guy, I do miss a lot of these attacks because he doesn't really do a great deal in NGS, and that's putting it nicely. It's a bit of a whatever fight in NGS, honestly. Gigant's type 0, strong 2, and Gazonde as usual in every Fantasy Star game. Yeah, what is it with Gazonde? It seems like every single game it's in, it's busted. There we go. And Clementine brings private servers online, but you're going to play a bunch of PSO2. I don't know. I mean, obviously the private server that's not going online until after the Sega servers close, from what I understand. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I'd probably play some of it because obviously the channel is very heavily Fantasy Star based anyway. But part of me is I've played so much of PSO2 Classic. A lot of it I'm kind of a bit sick of. There's still some parts of the game I really like, but just because I played it so much. I mean, I say that as someone who's played PSO for thousands of hours and still play it, so I realise I'm a massive hypocrite. If it's a Clem team, will they not just butcher it like they did with Clem? I think Clem's okay. Definitely areas for improvement though, for sure. Also, thank you to Vivian, Oscar, and Brooks for the follows. Tokyo Silver Key, not bad. Right, what else we got? Tundra Region 7. This is just a points one, isn't it? Yeah. I'll do this in super hard, just, I guess, for a bit of experience. An NGS can't unwhelm it. Is it only Zonde and Razonde? Yeah, so every Tekken NGS you basically have the regular, like the regular version, and then either Gi or Ra. It's weird because I'm sure for Zan, I'm sure it's Gizan that they give you instead of Razan. I have to be a bit careful with the multi-streaming now, Sky. Seen a few people getting bans for silly things recently. Really? I've never had any issues with it, really. I'm just careful about what I do, so that's the reason I don't put the chat on screen or anything. Because I know that they can be a bit finicky about having other service chats on the screen. So far, I haven't had any other issues, though. Yeah, I mean, a lot of streamers put the chat on screen from both services. I know there is, like, I think you can do that combines both chats, but technically it is against TOS. You're not meant to do it. It's a shame because I would really like to have the chat on screen with both service chats on there, but it's not worth the risk. Yeah, the way the techs are in NGS, Jack, it's a bit weird. You've basically got the two techs, but then they differ depending on whether you charge or uncharge them. And then there's like the type customizations as well that can change how they work as well. So that does help it a bit. That said, I would like to maybe see 1 or 2 more techs. But yeah, I've not really had any issues with the multi-streaming for the most part. I mean, restream the service I use, it can be a little bit unreliable sometimes. I mean, the drop we had today, that wasn't restream, that was just my connection dropping. Which it has been a little bit iffy the last few days. Just general UK ISP stuff, honestly. I think I'd be more worried if it was working properly. That's the thing, I mean, that's one of the nice things about doing it on YouTube, is the fact that you basically get a free VOD. Whereas Twitch, like, even if you're a Twitch affiliate, you want to keep your VODs for a certain amount of time, which I really don't like. NGS would look better with the regular mobs from this game. Yeah, I mean, there is a couple of mobs from PSO2 that are in NGS. I know the wolves that are here and in Forest. I know that they get ported over to NGS, and there's a few others. Did they get many views after the stream with the algo? Not too bad. I mean, I generally don't expect that many views on stream VODs. I think typically with your streams, you tend to get most views while you're live. It tends to mainly be people who maybe aren't in a good time zone for the live stream. I guess it gives them an option to watch it if they want to, so... Which is why I don't like that Twitch deletes your VODs after a certain amount of time. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll probably do the dailies, and then we'll maybe switch over to NGS or something and do the dailies there anyway, and then I'll probably run the Sonic LTQ a bit. If I'm feeling particularly good, I might try Vael, but we'll see. I don't expect that to go well if I do try it. Particularly not in public games. Oh, to be fair, I die all the time on Vael as well, so... I have managed to pass it once, though. There's much happening on Blueburst at the minute. At the minute, honestly, on Affinity, it's a little bit of a down period. The anniversary is the next event, which is like the huge one with the crazy boosts and everything. That should hopefully start around August time. So we're kind of on a bit of a quiet period with PSO. I mean, I'll probably stream it next Sunday because it will be Rare Drop Week. And God knows we need the Copium. But yeah, I think at the minute, PSO is definitely on a quiet period. Which honestly I'm okay with, because during the anniversary I'm going to be grinding it like crazy again anyway, so it's nice to have a bit of downtime beforehand. Dare I ask, do we have an SGS yet? I regret to inform you that no. No, that is still on the list for anniversary. I have a few goals for anniversary. I would obviously like to get an SGS. I would like to get a second Psycho wand because I've got another Force. It would be nice to have one for her, and I'm too lazy to swap my existing Psycho wand to other characters. See, that is going to be one of the main goals. And honestly, maybe just try and get some characters leveled as well. That guy was just completely confused by the wall. Didn't know what he was doing. You have a new ISP in internet now, so I'll log with you and help you get the SGS. If I get it, I will even give you it. Oh, thanks for that, dude. So I have seen SGSs drop. So I know they do exist. Technically. Speaking of rare drops, there is a video going live on Tuesday which kind of covers the subject a bit. It's similar to a video I did quite a few months ago talking about like rare drops in Phantasy Star. But this one's going into specifically some of the stuff that's been added to NGS recently. And, you know, whether it's too rare, whether it's kind of a good thing going forward. Also, for anyone who maybe didn't see the community post, I am trying, if possible, to do some PSO challenge mode during the week, because I am off work all this week. So on the Discord, in the PSO chat channel, there is a thread. If you are interested in doing some challenge mode, probably F1 challenge mode, feel free to drop your name in there. We do have a couple of people who've shown interest so far. If we can get enough people and work out a time slot, then we'll try and do some challenge mode during the week. It won't be streamed, but just if anyone wants to do it. Wednesday's stream, just as normal, will be Phantasy Star 3, so... I'm actually really enjoying that game now, I think, because we've got reasonably far into it now. It's really not as bad as people make it out to be. Of course, my opinion is subject to change based on what the final bosses are like. I feel like all we've fought in this quest is wolves. I know there's been a few of the Yeti things as well, but... God, we're only halfway. Challenge mode for which game? PSO Blueburst. Did you play more Front Mission 3? Saw you stream it a while back, it looked interesting. Yeah, a few people have said that they wouldn't mind seeing some more Front Mission 3. The good thing with that is there is a remake of it coming out at the, I believe it's the end of this month. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe stream the remake. And if the remake turns out to be complete dog shit, we'll just move over to the original. There's a turret. But yeah, I would like to play some more Front Mission because I love that game. It's one of my favorite games. It's very, very close to PSO. I think what my favorite game is kind of changes on a daily basis, and it just kind of hovers between PSO and Front Mission 3. Has Monster Hunter Wilds released now, as I know you're excited for that? Oof. Yes, Wilds released in February. It's a bit of a disappointment for me. I played 60 hours of it, did the story, did some high rank, and then stopped playing. Came back for the first title update, played for maybe a couple of hours, stopped playing. Next title update, I think there's a stream, a Capcom stream on Thursday, I think it is, where they're going through the next title update. So I'm hoping that the next title update is substantial. I am a bit concerned because it just says new monster. So I have a horrible feeling it's just going to be one monster again, which really sucks. The other issue with Wilds, though, which you'll see if you go and look at the Steam reviews for Wilds at the minute, I think when I checked it earlier, it was sitting at about 17% positive. That's 1.7. Basically, the PC version is complete crap. Runs terribly for most people. A lot of people can't even launch the game. The last update broke it even more, so people who could run it before now can't run it. It still runs for me, but honestly, even for me, the performance is not good. I've got a AMD 7900 XTX, which is like 24 gig of VRAM, and a 7800 X3D. And for me, if I don't use frame gen, it can drop to 30 or 40 FPS in some areas, which for a PC like that, I should not be dropping that low. With frame gen, it's fine, but I should not have to use frame gen to get any performance out of the game. Oh, it's down to 16 now. I mean, honestly, it's deserved. I want the game to be good. Like, I hate seeing a mainline Monster Hunter game be reviewed that badly, but honestly, it is totally deserved at the minute because the state of the PC version is a joke. I would just say that if you do like the look of Monster Hunter Wilds and you do want to play it, play the console version. Just do not touch the PC version. It is a mess. There's another streamer I watch, SD Shepherd. He plays a hell of a lot of Monster Hunter. He participated in some of the regional time attack events when they did those for World. So, you know, he's very, very good at Monster Hunter. And he stopped playing Wilds because he literally can't play it anymore. It just doesn't work for him. Maybe they can do a No Man's Sky and turn it around. I really hope so, because the annoying thing is the core elements of the game are really, really good. You know, I mean, honestly, I think the story was decent. You know, for a game that revolves around killing lots of monsters, the story wasn't too bad, honestly. I feel that the combat in Wilds, for the most part, is some of the best it's been in the whole franchise. The way the focus mode works is really cool. I think it feels kind of seamlessly integrated into combat. I really like it. But unfortunately, it's tied to this game where there's just... It feels like there's just not enough to do. And the PC version runs terrible on top of that. Don't touch Monster Hunter 1. Killing the After suffered enough for that stream. Yeah, the very early Monster Hunters look very rough. Well, we did it. But yeah, I really hope they do turn Wilds around. I really hope that they make some big improvements to the PC version. I think a lot of it, honestly, I think some of it is down to the engine, because the RE engine, it just feels like the RE engine is not suited for open world games at all, because Dragon's Dogma had the same kind of issues. Playing DOS at the moment is kind of fun. Did DOS still use the weird analog stick controls, or did they ditch that for DOS? Was that only the first game? Alright, so I guess we'll do this guy. But yeah, like I say, I really do want Wilds to do better. And I hope they do improve it. The annoying thing is they haven't really even acknowledged the PC issues. I think there was one patch where they kind of said they'd improved some things, but it made some things worse. I think one of the most damning things at the minute is if you look on something like Steam Charts. Now, I know Steam Charts is not the be-all, end-all. Obviously, Steam Charts only cover Steam. It doesn't give us the picture on consoles. But if you look at the players on that, the last few times I've looked at it, I don't know what it's like now, but the last few times I've looked at it, Monster Hunter World has had more players than Wilds. Which I think says everything. We're getting attacked by chickens. I mean, I will say, for the time I did spend with Wilds, I did enjoy the game when I played it. And like I say, for me, my PC could basically just brute force the game and force it to run decent, as long as I use frame gen. I did genuinely have fun with the game, but it felt like once I'd done the high rank story, it just kind of felt like there was not a whole lot to do. One issue I do have with it is there is a system in the game called the Artium weapons, which are these weapons you basically find parts for them and build the weapons. And the problem is that the Artium weapons seem to be stronger than pretty much any of the gear from monsters, which then kind of makes me think, well, what's the point in hunting for monster weapons, which is the whole point of the game? It's a very weird decision. Yeah, it just sucked because I was very, very excited for Wilds. You know, I mean, World is literally one of my favorite games ever. It was my first real introduction to Monster Hunter. I hadn't really played a great deal before it, and I wasn't really convinced I would like World when I first got it. And I then promptly spent about 600 odd hours in base game World and about another 600 odd hours in Iceborne. You know, I love that game. Is it perfect? No. But I genuinely really, really love World and Iceborne. But God, Wilds is rough. On several Monster Hunter games, but we're starting to get into it recently, mostly Rise. Rise is a bit of a wee one for me. I do like Rise. I think, given the choice, I'd rather play World overall, because I kind of prefer the more grounded, slightly slow-paced combat. But honestly, I think Rise isn't too bad, honestly. Again, it's one of those games where, when it launched, it was rough. I don't know if you're around for when Rise launched on the Switch, but basically when it launched without the end of the story, which was a decision. They basically did a content update later on, which added the rest of the story. Also grab Generations on the Switch while it was cheap. Harder to play, but still seems solid. Yeah, Generations and Generations Ultimate, I guess, are more similar to some of the older games. Rise is very much like an outlier, really. That I don't think there are any other games that play like Rise with that kind of mobility. Is this the way I came from? No, that is literally the exit. Yeah, I do like Monster Hunter for the most part. I do want to go and play some of the old ones eventually. So one thing I'm doing basically is... Wait, is this the first block? I've literally just gone the wrong way. I've just gone back to the first block. I thought that was too easy. Hope they fix Wild soon. Sad it took this long for people to get angry over it. I mean, I think people were quite angry with Wild when it first launched because there was a lot of people who couldn't run the game even when it launched. Oh, Rappy. I love how useless that tech is when you do it at close range. Draka is just angry people are happy. Oh, sorry, happy people are angry. Somehow I read that backwards. I do like PSO2 Rappies, they're very cute. But yeah, I think there was definitely people who, you know, were not happy with Wilds when it launched, for sure. I think it's got worse over time because now it's a case of there's still the performance issues, if not worse. And we now also have what people are perceiving to be not a lot of content. I mean, no, yeah, I got 60 hours out of Wilds, and 60 hours isn't too bad, realistically. But in comparison to something like World, 1,000 hours. Yeah, the good thing is, you know, I suppose Wild is still quite early in its release cycle. There is still, realistically, there is still plenty of time for Capcom to fix this. It's whether they do or not. You going back to World to get some more achievements? Well, whenever you do go back, let me know, because I'm always up for playing World. World is the GOAT. It's so good. Still haven't beaten Alatreon and Fatalis. I would probably need to practice quite a bit before doing Alatreon and Fatalis, because I'm probably very rusty now. And you cannot be rusty on those fights. Inaccessible. So that is another wrong word. So got a bit of backtracking, but not too bad. You got all the achievements in Elden Ring Night Rain in 51 hours. Yeah, Night Rain looks interesting. Did they ever add a 2-player mode to that, or is it still just 1-player and 3-player? Still very dependent on whether the people are willing to give Capcom the benefit of the doubt. And for me, you know, I know what the Monster Hunter team is capable of, you know, with games like World. I know they have the facility to make great games. And Wild is a good game at its core. So for me, I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. They added a harder Night Rain boss event. I can't say I'm surprised. It's this dude. If memory serves, you use fire on him. I seem to remember that he doesn't like fire. I want to see the first new area in Night Rain, totally going to be DLC. It does kind of surprise me with Night Rain that it is just one area. Oh, do you know what? I love that. It's so dumb, Dark Blast, but... Dark Blast is way cooler than Mars. Yeah, Mars is just... It's okay, but it feels like it's not fully fleshed out. It definitely has its uses though. I know on Malignant Vael, there is a phase at the end where the easiest way to get through it is basically go into Mars and just spam normal attacks because you get like HP regen. Because there's so many unblockable attacks in the last phase, you basically just tank through them. Alright, so that's just the Castrum Demonica one, which I'm not really interested in doing. Will I get the Gooner game Stellar Blade? Maybe when it's on sale. There was a thing with the devs that I wasn't particularly happy with. So their other game, Nikkei, they did something with Nikkei, which I wasn't really a big fan of. So I sort of out of principle didn't buy Stellar Blade on release. But I may buy it when it goes on sale. I would say it looks like a Gooner version of Nier Automata, but to be fair, Nier Automata is pretty Gooner already. I've seen Peak. Yeah, I've seen a few streamers play that. It looks kind of funny, honestly. It's quite a cool idea for a game, honestly, that. Just gooning Elite Dangerous by pledging to Ashling, who looks like a Korean MMO character. Yeah, I do want to try and play some Elite Dangerous this week. Because I've never tried it, and I've got all week off from work, so... yeah, hoping to get some chance to play it this week. Happy birthday, Sonic, for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Sonic the Hedgehog's... I think it's 34th birthday. There apparently is a keyword you can say in NGS to get some stuff. I think it's active from tomorrow. I think it's like Sonic_happy_34th or something like that. I miss the olden days of 2021 when the PSO lobbies were packed. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, PSO2 Classic is definitely a lot quieter. I think it's to be expected to an extent because, you know, obviously Classic doesn't get updates anymore, and it hasn't done for a long time now. Yeah, so what we'll do is we will go to NGS and I'll show you the Sonic LTQ and that. It looked on PSO and Knuckles is at the quest counter. Yeah, so they've... I say hidden, they're not really hidden, but I think it's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and I think Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman, whichever you want to go with. They're like scattered all around the map. They really could update Classic at least once, an actual update, not just some small fix. I'm not sure what could they update on it though, because obviously the story and everything is done. Yeah, I'll give you that. It would be nice for them to fix the lighting in Classic because it is very broken. For anyone who hasn't played the Japanese version of Classic PSO2 looks nothing like this for the lighting. I mean, maybe it is now because of NGS, but yeah, prior to NGS it looked different. So I do actually need to run the Sonic LTQ a bit because I badly need some more progress grinders and a few other things. Come on, game, you can do it. There we go. I can always do a small event that changes the lobby. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess they have done it in the past, haven't they? Because I'm sure, didn't they do like a Thanksgiving lobby, which that never existed in the Japanese version? My copium is that they're just going full blast on developing PSO3. Here's hoping. Alright, so let's do our daily SG pull. Anything useful? Alright, so this is like a new type of outfit that got added fairly recently called Total Wear. So Total Wear basically turns your character into that character from NGS. So this would turn me into Manon. So if I use that. Yeah, Total Wear, yeah. So I think... I've never actually tried this total wear, so... Does it come under base wear? It does, but I can't equip it from there. That's very weird. Can you only do it from the salon, maybe? Yeah, so it's basically... It's very weird, I think, because they literally did a thing where they gave you the exact settings that you needed in the salon to make a character look like the NGS characters. But then they've given us total wear, which lets you turn them into those characters. Let's see if it works in the salon. I've never tried these, so I've got no idea how they work. I guess the hydrate button will never work. I see the hydrate. I will do an on-screen alert for that at some point. Well, let's see. So how does this work? I don't know where it shows up in the list, honestly. Yeah, we made it to the main NGS gameplay. Yeah, this is NGS Fashion Simulator. I mean, to be fair, it was kind of the same PSO2 as well. So where does it put these outfits? Is it before the base wear? God, there are so many outfits in this game now. It is kind of ridiculous. Ah, there it is. Yes, I've got the Aina one as well. So if I... say, it just turns me into Aina. Or if I go to Manon, it turns you into Manon. So I guess if you want a character that cosplays one of the NGS characters, you can do it. Yeah, I think you can type in the outfit names in the search bar. Alright, yeah, so we've got the Sonic lobbies. I guess it's easy to just have full players manning on the end screen after a boss kill. Alright, so we're going to get the boost first, and then I will show you the LTQ. If they make a Toto wear for Luther, I will come back on the first second of that update. Okay, let's see if we can get a party for the LTQ. Okay, so it's Shadow Sprint at the minute. These are worth doing as well because you can get the Legend NGS weapons from it as well, which is pretty good. NGS so rare to say, yeah. Who'd have thought I'm an NGS creator? I do play it occasionally. That mag sound does get a little bit annoying after a while. Come on, we just need two more people. Come on. Daily loop's still the same. Food, mag, queue up. I mean, I think LTQs are never going to be out of the limelight in NGS. I think you're always going to be doing LTQs for the most part. Honestly, these LTQs I don't mind. I think the Sonic LTQs are some of the most fun. Used to gather though before queuing. Yeah, that's really what you should do. Normally you would like go on, you do dailies and everything, and then you'd start. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've totally forgotten the map for this one. But yeah, if you're really overly competitive, you can do... Yeah, you can race other people in this and try and beat everyone. I am not competitive in the slightest. And this is why I decided to not monetize the YouTube stream. Because honestly, Sonic music seems like DMCA hell. But yeah, it's a really cool LTQ. I really like this. Yeah, you do gotta go fast. You do. Unfortunately, I can't remember the map for this one at all. There is also Chaos Emeralds to collect as well. You get like a bonus to your score if you get those. Oh, I can't remember this map in the slightest. We've got one Chaos Emerald. I'm so far ahead of everyone else. Like, how? This seems to be a theme of the stream, this getting attacked by chickens. Sega does have a skeleton to make a good hack and slash Sonic game. Maybe.
Success.
They already took Alien Return and put it in Frontiers. God of War, but Sonic. But with all the violence as well. This is a much more complicated track than the Sonic Sprint one. Sonic is definitely the privileged child of Phantasy Star. Just look at Phantasy Star 3. Yeah, it's all Sonic's fault. I'm assuming that's why some different people did 3, because I'm guessing that some of the team from Phantasy Star were working on Sonic. It's about the same time, isn't it? All hail Shadow, by the way. If it isn't blatantly obvious, it's because of the whole Sonic and Shadow Generations thing. I actually forgot how long this track is. It's way longer than the Sonic one. And these are like some of the worst bosses ever. I hate these things. Here, catch that. I missed an emerald. Someone missed it. I'm going to say it wasn't on my path. Because on these, there are multiple paths you can take. Yeah, one's been missed. It's like a collective team thing for the emeralds, so only the person who picks up the emerald gets like the extra points boost from it. It does give like a buff to the team as well, but there's also an extra points bonus that you get for having the emerald. Will that hit? Oh, miss. Clipped him. Yeah, the emeralds are kind of randomly placed as well. They seem to differ every run. Alright, that's one down. Seriously, Tekka is so fun now. Well, I got the most attacks dodged somehow. Next show is Hunter Take a gameplay. Okay, so we got join deer capsules, which they're really useful for making one of the newer fixes. Loads of terrible caps, like in every quest. They do sometimes give you some decent capsules though. I don't know if I got any this run. No, not this run. I think Tekka was your first class at launch or the open beta. Yeah, Tekka's quite good now. Oh yeah, it's also the thing in this where the first time you do the LTQ every day, you get 10 tickets. So I can now do a pull of Sonic Scratch. This is just a free scratch, you just get from those tickets. So we got a male Sonic suit, which I can't use, but some posters. We got the Sonic Dash. I've already got it, unfortunately, but quite a lot of star gems as well, so it is really good for getting star gems. First suit is a reward, great, exactly. I know you said you want to see some Hunter Take a gameplay. I mean, yeah, but she is a bouncer in this, but I can certainly change over to her. I tend to use this character mainly because she's kind of my main in NGS. She's also probably the only character I can do Vael with. And I've got my Ranger as well, but I really don't want to be Ranger and Vael. You want to see Hunter gameplay? Okay, I can do that. The new craft's good. I don't mind. I mean, for me, honestly, I tend to, with Hunter, I tend to just play mainly Partisan. It's by far my favorite working with Hunter. I think Hunter, Force, and Worker are the only classes I like. Yeah, I'm quite mixed on NGS, so I think for me, I like Partisan, and I don't mind Wired Lance and Hunter. I really don't like Sword. Fighter, I like Knuckles, but they're not good. And I don't mind Twin Daggers. I'm not very good with Double Saber. I don't like it. I'm just not very good with it. I really like Ranger. Ranger's really fun. Gunner is fun, but terrible. Gunner is so underpowered. You like Fighter, but you despise Whirlwind. It's been over 10 years, make up a new way to use it. Yeah, I mean, it works a little bit different to base game PSO2, but yeah, it is kind of still built around Whirlwind. Yeah, Shadow, I really like Bouncer. I tend to mainly just play Soaring Blades Bouncer, but I really like it. Right, so let's get some food buffs. One thing I will say I don't like is you can save recipes for your food in this, so you get certain buffs, but it seems to be locked per character. I wish it was per account. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Sword. I've never really enjoyed playing it in NGS for some reason. Alright, so let's have a delicious meal of mangoes, sea slugs, and meat. Lovely. Sounds great. So what is even my battle power at? 4408. Yeah, that's not brilliant. Wide Lance is fun, but it's just, honestly, I find it a little bit weak. Although apparently it is the preferred weapon for Hunter on Vael. You still only eat meat enough to farm it, so you have to farm it to an extent. There are some trials that give lots of meat. There's one where you basically get tames to go to a certain area of the map, and if you do that, you get a ton of meat from it. Generally, it's quite easy to farm. I mean, what you'll find is that people will generally just kill the tames as they go past and farm them that way. You have like 3k meat right now. The hard one to get is I think it's the crisp steer meat, because there's only about one place in the game it spawns, and it's really awkward to farm. Which is annoying because it's one of the best ones for buffs. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I agree on that, Drock. I think there are certain types of food that are way more useful than others. They could probably do a rebalance in it a bit. I also personally, I don't really see why we needed the food system. I think the way it worked in Classic was totally fine for that with the photon drinks. So I know you want to see Hunter gameplay. I mean, the LTQ at the minute is the Sonic one, so it's mainly running. But there is a few parts in it where you fight at least, so... This character is not high enough BP to do Vael, so... They've made it so the requirement to do Malignant Vael is really, really high. It's actually really hard to get to. I guess the bit's trying to filter people out. It hasn't worked. Yeah, I think the common one at the minute is to do about 7 meats and then 1 of every other type. I've actually randomly loaded in one of my friends, actually. like randomly spawned in with someone I play with. The chance of that. Been beating Vael for like the past day because of PSO2 day. Got way better at the fight, but yeah, you got to be up there to play it. You have to be absolutely locked in for Vael. Like, you cannot mess up on Vael. It's such a hard fight, man. I think I mainly still struggle with phase 2. With all like the lasers after every time he does like the slower slashes, the homing lasers that he does get me way too often. And also the pools that he puts on the ground as well that do DPS over time. They are brutal. Will you get all... So you'll get all Chaos Emeralds now. It's very rare. I mean, I think the best I have done in this is to get about 4 or 5, I think. I think we've actually already missed the purple one. Unless someone else picks it up. Alright, so Hunter gameplay. Let's actually use Warcry to get things to try and actually attack me. So Hunter is very heavily built around counters. Not normal counters, so you have a thing called Hunter Art Avenger. Where you basically try and counter as enemies are hitting you, and you get way more damage out of it. I do like Partisan as well, because with Partisan you do have a lot of mobility, so you can kind of dash in enemies by doing the weapon action. Yeah, I mean, NGS in general is very heavily built around counters, obviously, but the way the Hunters do it, I do like, because it rewards you for getting the counter perfect. Which I'm not doing at all here. There we go. So you get way more damage out of your attacks if you get the counter down.
Success.
Shout out to Fighter for having backhand count. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Knuckles have about, what, 2 or 3 different counters? I wish Knuckles were a bit stronger, honestly. They feel a little weak at the minute. I see you there. They actually got a complaint at some point for the game being counter heavy. That's why the new fights have unblockables. Yeah, I mean, Vael is full of them. I mean, particularly phase 3 Vael. Phase 3 Vael is like 90% unblockables. Just like, yep, deal with this. Like when Mars runs out in phase 3, it is just panic. It is genuinely scary. NGS actually seems interesting at endgame. Honestly, I think the endgame part is probably the best part of the game for sure at the minute. They have also started to make it where the enemies are actually starting to hurt as well. Can't remember the name of the skill, but the sheath counter. Yeah, Brave counter's pretty good. I don't remember what it's called now. I want to say it's like Fearless. It might be Fearless Attitude or something like that. Yeah, I had to tweak Brave recently because they did like a class update to it, and the visuals for the counter were really not obvious at all. So they had to basically change the visuals for the counter so you'd actually see when it was working. May try to pick it up again.
Success.
Yeah, what I would do, Nadia, if you're trying to get to the end game faster, one way of doing it is Honestly, doing the story quests, I know they can be quite long sometimes, but they do give a ton of experience for doing them. And you will power level from doing those. And other ways, honestly, just do dailies and everything as well. It will help. Failing that, you can do the yellow battle days as well. The steer one in particular, once you get to it, will give you a ton of experience. It's what I generally use to get to high level. I've done NGS story how many times? I think I've done it twice. It's not a mandatory thing in NGS, so a lot of my characters I just haven't bothered with it. They might add something in future where there's a necessity to do it, but for now, I'm happy just doing it once or twice. Yeah, LTQs give really good experience as well. And they're really easy to run because everyone wants to do them. I can't remember, Drac. You might have to do some story progression, possibly. I genuinely can't remember. I should know that as well because I did a new character recently. I honestly can't remember if you have to do any story. This is like not the optimal way to play Hunter at all, but I just tend to like fishing for counters. You need to complete part 1 to unlock the full map, okay. Yeah, the prologue part, yeah, once you've done that on one character, you can skip it on all future characters, which is nice. In fact, that actually reminds me, yeah, the way it works now is when you make a new character, providing you've done the story on one character, it will basically ask you, do you want to start from a certain chapter? So I think from the minute, I think you can start from chapter 6. And if you do that, I think it will start your character at about level, I want to say 85, and it'll give you gear sort of appropriate to that level. So if you just want to get to the end quickly, that's one way of doing it. Some people are going to love that, some people are not. Stopped playing when it was 85 cap. I mean, the cap now is only 105, so it's not too much more. You only increase it by 5 levels at a time, so... I think if anyone was considering starting again, I would probably say maybe wait till July, because I know in July we're getting the Altar Realm, which is like a... It looks like a kind of weird version of Retem. I'm guessing it's going to be like the equivalent of Ultimate Retem. So once we know more about that, then I might be in a better position to be able to recommend NGS. Yeah, so for doing that there, I got 4.4 million experience. I don't know why the sound went crazy there. I think at the minute there is PSO2 day boost at the minute, so that's probably why it's way more. Rip Chaos Emerald. It's very rare I get them, and on this map I don't really know where a lot of them are. There's like specific spawns they tend to be in. They do differ, but there's generally a couple of locations there might be. On the Sonic one I know where they all are, and I usually get like at least a couple. Oh yeah, Drac, it's moved on now. The golden rare drop? Nah. It's like the Drake meme, it's like golden rare drop. Now you want a purple rare drop now for the legend weapons or 13 stars. I don't think 13 stars rainbow. I'm sure. I think someone said it's purple, like the legend weapons. I could be wrong though, because I haven't seen a 13 star myself. Right, do you want to laugh? Do you want to see how bad Malignant Vael is? I will probably not pass it because I am awful at the fight. Thank you for the 13-star rare drop. You think it's purple? Yeah, I will show you an attempt at Malignant Vael. I will probably fail it because I'm still terrible at this fight. What's the drop chance for a 13-star? Well, at the minute, 13 stars at the moment only drop from Malignant Vael. It's the only way of getting them at the minute. From what I've seen, the drop chance isn't incredibly rare. They're not common by any means, but they're not uber rare. The issue is beating Malignant Vael. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my Alliance place as well, just to get the extra boost. There's a tendency to drop weapons for your class sometimes, always seemed inconsistent. I think it tends to favour weapons for your class. You can still get other ones, but I think you're more likely to get weapons for your class. It's 1 out of get good, basically, yeah. Yeah, this is... It might be the hardest fight in NGS. I'm genuinely not sure if this is harder or if the final Masquerade is harder. I don't know that because I'm not at the final level of Masquerade. On the 23rd, we'll get a 240% rare drop boost on top of the 100% rare drop boost from PSO2 Day. So by then I imagine 13 star will be more common. Possibly, yeah. Right, we will try Malignant Vael. This will go horribly wrong, I imagine. Like, I want to show you guys it, because for anyone who hasn't seen this fight, it is ridiculous. Doing it with randoms is probably the worst idea ever, but to be honest, I'll probably die loads anyway. I just want to show you this for anyone who hasn't seen this fight, because it is absurd. Beaten Vael like 14 times by now. Mask is way harder for sure, but this guy's no joke. How long has it been out? People should have gotten better by now. The thing is, there are a lot of mechanics in this fight that require you to know what you're doing, and that's an issue in NGS. Most difficult. That's it. Yeah, that is the issue as well. Trying to get a ranger. Ranger is so important for this fight. I mean, if we don't get one, we don't get one. If people drop out, I'll try again. But we'll see. Yeah, expect nothing. Yeah, so people dropped out in this one, so we will try again. The issue is if you don't have a ranger, it's not worth trying. Daily reminder that Tekka deserves the same damage utility as ranger. Oh yeah, ranger is still busted just because of blight rounds, which was obviously weak bullet. But yeah, you basically just need to hope you get a ranger. Honestly, the best way of doing this is to have a preset party. Trying to do it with randoms is not the way to do it, honestly. I mean, I do have a ranger that can do this, but I know what will happen. If I switch to my ranger, there'll be another ranger. Yeah, honestly, Vector, as far as I'm aware, I don't think this is possible to solo. We have a ranger. So the reason I put those there is for one of the attacks. It's basically a marker. Whether we get that far, we'll see. But yeah, this guy is really no joke at all. Yeah, this is the easy phase, by the way. Yeah, not good. He does so much damage as well. That always catches me out as well. Occasionally he delays one of those slashes. Oh, that's not the Fortnite bit. The Fortnite bit's coming up soon. The Fortnite bit is where most of us will die if people don't know what they're doing. And I might die if I mess it up. Can we get Famelgian in as well? We can. Oh, nice. Got a crit with Famelgian. Nice. He just never stops attacking, so it's really hard to actually get anything in. Yeah, here we go. This is Fortnite. Yes, this attack is awful. I hate this attack. Ah, didn't quite get it. You basically need to like block yourself in before he does the shots. Almost got it there. Yeah, so this is the phase I am really bad at. Because now he basically does the things he did in phase 1, but then he adds extra attacks in as well. Ah. Combined texts do help quite a bit in this because you do get iframes from them, so that does help. We safe there? Yeah. But yeah, I'm still very, very rusty on this fight, if it's not obvious. Yeah, we're at 4 out of 5 deaths, so... It's a fun challenge, alright. If you want some difficulty in NGS, like, this is it. Personally, for me, I don't think it's the most fun Falls fight. I still prefer probably Solus and Dalian overall. But yeah, if you're wanting something difficult in NGS, this is it. Ah, there we go. So yeah, so that was Malignant Vael. Really like the fight, actually. It's difficult enough to keep on your toes. I think after playing it a ton, it's probably my favourite one. I think for me, I really like how the Solus and Dalian fights progress. Like the Malignant versions, anyway. I do like Vael. I just feel with certain classes it feels almost impossible to do anything. The problem with how it works as well is because he attacks so often. With a lot of classes, if you're countering constantly, you're basically tanking your DPS to do the counter animation. It's 5 deaths for the whole team. And it's a 15-minute time limit as well. So yeah, it's like very much like a challenge boss. Oh yeah, I died the most. Yeah, I had no doubt that would be any different. Yeah, I am not good at Malignant Vael. But I have beaten it once, and I am happy with that. God, really? No sales in my shop? Feels bad. Yeah, the downside of that fight is, because the requirement is so high to do it, you basically need really, really good affixes on all your gear. And you need to know your class inside out to be even half decent at it. I play bouncer, so my counters are hidden within my attacks. I can't imagine like fighter doing it, which has to properly counter and stop what it's doing. That's the thing I really like about bouncer, is the fact that you can counter mid combo and keep your Fortnite going. With Tector, every time I'm countering, I'm basically stopping what I'm doing. My counter does do decent damage, but I do wonder sometimes if it's better to eat an attack so you can continue your combo in certain situations. Of course, what you should be doing is knowing where all your iframes are and all your guard frames and everything. Yeah, so on Tector, you do have some quite generous iframes and some quite good like guard frames on some of your attacks as well. So on your normal combo, for example, that last hit there, you are invulnerable for the entirety of it. And you can kind of quick skip to it by, if you do a technique, then an attack, and then you can just skip straight to it. So there is a quick way of getting to your invulnerable attacks. You're obviously also invulnerable whenever you do your compound techniques and your floating blasts as well. So part of it is kind of learning when you can get away with doing full combos, when you can get away with iframing through stuff. And that is something that's just going to take a lot of practice to get used to, honestly. What I'm saying is, I am not good enough for this. But it is nice, so I will say it is nice having that there. It's for people who want to do the difficult stuff. Speaking of which, while we're here, why don't I do a little bit of Masquerade? I've still got loads of work to do on Masquerade, so I should probably do at least one or two. Yeah, I'm only on depth 5. Bouncers have Pinion Blade, which is like 6 seconds of iframes. Yeah, Pinion Blade is really useful. And you can get it to recharge really fast as well. Yeah, my excuse for Vael is that obviously I was focusing on chat as well, so I was distracted. That is my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, but for real, it is a really, really hard fight. Don't expect any really crazy stuff from Masquerade because he's only depth 5. Ah, still got him. Still doesn't have much chill, honestly. You can stun him when he does that underground attack, but you have to be really fast. Oh, come on, I should have got that. I feel like I got conned out that one. I'm not really happy that the PB went up there. I think it's because he jumped in the air as it sort of tracked, but at least I avoided that attack. Honestly, I'll take that. This part of the BGM sounds like Phantasy Star 3 Sky. Oh, nice. He just never stops. Sir? Oof, that might get me, actually. Oh, not one, because I've got Iron Will. There we go. Yeah, massive fun fight, honestly. Glad the BGM is back, but it doesn't hit the same because it's not the same arena. Yeah, I know, like Shad said, I know that for rank 10, was it rank? Yeah, sorry, depth 10, rank 10. I know for that the fight is different. I know he looks different as well. I'm sure he's white instead of black. The intro of the game. So yeah, for the intro of Phantasy Star 3, I did go back and watch it because I think I accidentally skipped it, but I did watch it off stream, so I have seen the intro. Yeah, I accidentally skipped it. Alright, so got about another hour or so, I think. What do people want to see? Do you want to see more NGS, or do you want to see PSO2 Classic? I'm happy to do either. There isn't a whole lot to the intro, honestly, Vector. If I remember correctly, I think Maya washes up on a beach somewhere.
One more.
And it tells you a little bit about the backstory of like Arakio and Laia, and that's about it. I also don't know why the BGM keeps like corrupting every now and again. It's almost like my PC is fighting against me playing NGS. BGM's more complete, and yeah, he's white. The stage isn't the same as base PSO2, they do bring back one popular aspect of it. I'm being low-key for spoiler's sake. NGS's Curse, it's a horror game now. I mean, given what some people's characters look like, I'd probably agree with you. Oh yeah, that's one thing I was meant to show. The Sonic Scratch. I know I pulled on it earlier, but there is very cursed Sonic outfits. I think there is actually a scratch, like an AC scratch as well. This is the free Sonic Scratch. There is the worst hair I've ever seen. I mean, I get it's meant to make you look like, you know, like Metal Sonic, but I mean, it doesn't look good. Let's be real. Yeah, there's a few music discs. So you got Wonderworld from SLW. What's SLW for Sonic fans? Is it Lost Worlds, maybe? Yeah, it's Metal Sonic, yeah. Lost World, okay. And Station Square. There is this, I mean, I need the disc for this. For the memes. I have not managed to get that disc yet, I need it. There is also, unfortunately, the Sonic Heroes theme. Escape from the City, it doesn't matter, and Reach for the Stars. Will you stream Sonic.exe for Sonic's birthday? No, for several reasons. One, it's not a stream date. Two, no. I guess Total Wear for Sonic would just use the models we have in Affinity now. Probably. Yeah, the actual Sonic scratch for this year. So I'll show the female ones because it'll look weird on this character otherwise. Yeah, it's based like a kind of a hoodie. I think there is more to the outfit as well. Where is it? Yeah, there's a hood that goes with it. That makes it look a bit better. I think there's other ones as well. Is it Shadow as well? Yeah, the Shadow outfit actually looks kind of sick. But there is also stuff like, you know, there is a Sonic Idol if you want that. There is the Edgelord Idol. Everyone wants, apparently. Yeah, the Shadow Idol is like, how much is it at the minute? 20 million. There's only a few on sale. The really funny thing about the Shadow stuff, though, is... So on the Idol, you know, the wings are flapping. It looks actually not too bad because at least the wings are actually animated. But then you get the dash for it. And they just kind of flop around. It's a bit weird. I don't know why they couldn't have had these actually move as well. More than that. Surprised we don't see any silver or blaze material. I'm guessing the reason for this is probably because, obviously, with Sonic and Shadow Generations releasing not so long back, it's probably kind of tied in with that, I'm assuming. Oh, that's actually how it was in Shadow Generations. Okay, fair enough. I'll let them off. Yeah, I mean, my other wings do just sit there. They are totally solid. They don't move at all. Oh, you can get All Hail Shadow from this as well. Yeah, so if you want that, it's there. The Sonic LTQ, when that's on, that is the one from about 2 years ago, the one that has Undefeatable as the music, which I am very much for. So for the last hour or so, let's change character up. Go on then, we'll do Bouncer then. Suggest. Any good tech PAs for Hunter, Force, or Worker? I'm trying to think now what the recent ones were. Let's see. So Hunter. So yeah, so we do have 3 for a lot of the Fortinarts now. I honestly can't remember what the most recent ones were. All the Hunter Sword stuff are amazing. It kind of annoys me with Hunter because it feels like everything that Sword gets is good. Meanwhile, particularly Wired Lance is just suffering. Yeah, so at the minute, you do have Convergence Shot for Talus. I personally don't tend to use Talus personally. Tech customizations at the minute, we've mainly just got Foy, Gifoy, Barta, Gabata, Zonda, Zan, Grants, Gigrants, and Megad. I mean, yeah, Sword is the main character weapon, I guess. Gigrants has, and Grants as well, have some pretty useful ones. So for Gigrants, there is Type 3, which basically, if you do it uncharged, what it does is it basically makes like a spinning blade in front of you that just spins around continuously, and then you can keep doing attacks, so it's like extra DPS while you're attacking, which is quite nice. And then there is also another type for Gigrants which nullifies attacks being activated, so you can kind of use it as a parry, which is a nice other option to have. And if you play Force, you'll know that the Force Rod weapon action, it's quite, although it's a very generous weapon action for the parry, it tanks your DPS completely because it's quite a long animation. So it's quite nice to have another option for parries on Force. And what was the other one? Worker. Yes, for Worker, there's... Can you remember which one it was that you saw, Drac? Was it Fedron Breath, or... Because I'm sure I use... I think Breath's the most recent one. Yeah, because I know for Fedron Riding, there's one I use which, as I fly around, it basically fires shots off while I'm flying, which is alright. I'll be honest, I think Waker does need a bit of a tweak. I mean, it is actually getting a class overhaul relatively soon. I think it's the next class to get one. So, I'm hoping that they do a bit to Waker to make it a bit more interesting. So Fedron Breath, you got one that emits a single breath attack that hits the same enemy multiple times and penetrates targets. You've got one that adds the treble clef marker to variant attacks. So I think that's if you charge it, you'll add a clef marker. And then one that adds effect to non-variant attacks. It's almost like it needs more pets. I just think, I feel like Waker needs something more. For me, I know some people disagree with me on this. I personally feel that Waker feels a bit too oversimple at the minute. I know there is really complicated stuff you can do with it, but the sort of the fundamentals of Waker just seems to be use each of the pets until you get 3 bars, spam your attack that drains the bars, rinse and repeat, use Marin to counter. I know there is a lot more to Waker than that, but the basics of it feel very, very... It kind of feels a bit flowcharty, honestly, to me. Maybe I'm just really bad at Waker, though, so do not take my word as gospel. Tell you what, give me a food buff. Glad they kept Marin in, but it's not a separate thing anymore. Yeah, it's just kind of tied to your... It's like your weapon action now. I mean, I guess it's another way of working it in. But yeah, it's certainly not as busted as it was in PSO2. Which may be a good or bad thing, depending on what your opinion of Summoner was. Use Waker as a sub because it can cheat you out of so many deaths, but this should make it more interesting. Yeah, it's quite good for a sub for the survivability, for sure. It just waved at me. I'm sure this NPC waved at me. Making a liar out of me now. I'm sure you waved at me. Fine, don't do it anymore. Okay, let's do... Yeah, let's do that. Summoner was great and I would die on that hill. Had tons of pets for different builds and fights. Yeah, I never got into Summoner personally in Classic. It just, for me, just wasn't my kind of class. I know there were a lot of big fans of it though. So again, another thing that I do like in NGS is that with these trainer, you can basically configure them to make them more difficult if you want to. So by default, this is like level 64. But if I start it, you can add challenges to it. And there's one at the bottom here where you can basically add the max difficulty level to it. So this basically increases the enemy HP by 150%, increases their attack by 100%, makes me use 6 times more rest time when I heal. So you basically get to heal once. It reduces the amount of rest time you can carry to 6, so you can heal once. Increases their level. It makes the enemies into megalotics, which basically just improves their stats more. And it maximizes their enemy level as well. Love the fight BGM in this area, the trumpets go hard. Honestly, I've said it before, I really think the NGS soundtrack is really decent for the most part. There's a couple of songs I'm not keen on, but for the most part, I really like it. So let's try this on max difficulty. So it's basically going to be a mega buff monkey. I've also not played Bouncer for a long time. So enjoy this. Still releasing Dual Quest. So this isn't a Dual Quest, this is just a trainer, but you can just massively increase the level on it. They haven't done any more normal Dual Quests recently. The last one was Masquerade, which is like called an extra Dual. I think they realised that a lot of people don't really like Dual Quests. I'm a little bit hit or miss on them personally. So that's one of the tech customizations for Bouncer, you can spin for longer. We like the meat spin. I just think this character's a bit undergeared for this, honestly. It's because they keep raising the level on this, so every time there's a level cap increase, the max level of the enemy increases. Yeah, it's gonna be spicy. No, Taker is not level capped yet, no. Which is why it's taken so long. She's one of the next ones on the list to sort out. I basically wanted to get one character that was high enough to be able to do Vael. So I've got a couple of characters that I cap, but yeah, Taker still needs work. I think if she was 105 and if a gi was a bit better, I would do a lot better here. Because a gi is not even fixed yet either. Urgent quest got announced. Unfortunately, the urgent quests are not great at the minute. Ah, got me. Get why people like dual blades so much, but playing boots as well can set them more downs right unless they reworked it. I like how he just hangs out on the pole there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, boots. The issue with boots at the minute is just that they're not particularly strong. They are really good though for iframes in particular. They probably have some of the most generous iframes of any weapon. So I can kind of cheese they're not being able to heal a little bit. Because I'm using an Acrocellial weapon, part of the potential for this weapon series is that whenever you successfully weapon action dodge, you gain 1 charge, and when you've got 3 charges, if you do a photon blast, you get loads of different effects. And one of the effects you get is you heal. Yeah, we like this attack. I've got it down. We should have him, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. That would have been a lot faster if she was actually leveled up and geared properly. Yeah, honestly, I do really like Bouncer, particularly Soaring Blades. I think they're quite a fun weapon. But she badly needs better gear. Jet Boots aren't strong, but have like cheap gimmicks. If you properly combo Soaring Blades and Jet Boots, you can get the most damage, but I only use Soaring Blades solo at the minute. Yeah, I basically just use Soaring Blades. I know there are some situations where Jet Boots can be really, really good. But for me, I just massively prefer using Soaring Blades, honestly. And it's kind of... It's what Taker's always used since PSO, so it kind of fits. Alright, while we're here. actually gather a couple of things while I'm here because I badly need some materials. Law accurate bound to take it, exactly. If she's not using dual blades of some description, something's gone wrong. Annoyingly, it doesn't replenish your heals after doing those cocoons, so you have to go and pick a load up. Yeah, you can just buy Rest of Sign as well in the towns. Also, if you want to do Malignant Vael, that's where you start it from if you're out in the field. But yeah, to give you an idea, the requirement to do that is 4,630 battle power. Taker at the minute has 4,580. I mean, her gear at the minute is by no means done though. I mean, she's got Acro Dual Blades, which are pretty good. But then her armor is partly Tristasis, partly Acrotasis, still using a load of LC augments, so she is far off being able to do stuff like that. I mean, she only has about 300% potent, well, I think 320 potency at the minute, which is way, way down on what I need. For context, the Tekka that I used against Vael, she has about 440% potency. No offense, birds, but I need meat. I've kind of changed some of the spawns for the pickups as well, so they tend to spawn in like clusters now, which is much better. So you're not looking all over the maps for them. So you can see here we've got like a hexatite cluster. So there's a lot of the same pickup right near each other. Which just saves a lot of time, honestly. Yeah, bounce is pretty fun. I really need to spend a bit more time on this character and actually fix the gear though. Malignant, Dark Falls, Vael, Solitude, Aegis, Dalliant. Wonder if they'll do Profound Darkness in this one. I'm not sure. I mean, it's interesting where they're going. I mean, so the latest thing is obviously this new area we're getting in July is called the Altar Realm, and all I know so far is that that apparently appears after Vael is defeated in the story. But there's obviously some link to Vael with it. So whether it's setting us up for like the next tier of Starless, whether that includes something like Profound Darkness, I don't know. It kind of feels to me like it's going to be something equivalent to Ultimate from PSO2. Which could be good. Is there anything else I actually need to do for dailies today, or have I done everything? There is Nameless, but I kind of wish they'd remove Nameless City from this now, because it feels like no one really does Nameless at the minute, because there isn't much reason to do it. Maybe we'll get Anger Fandage. Possibly. I mean, I know that on one of the road maps they did a silhouette of a monster that's coming, and it looked like it was the silhouette for Dio Huna or VL Huna, whichever one you want to call it. And And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe in PSO2 story that was maybe linked to things like anger fandage, so maybe. I do wonder if they brought something back like fandage. I wonder if they'd give it its mechanic where it would just become invulnerable to certain weapons. It was always fun if you were playing like a hunter and you decided to become immune to swords, partisans and wide lances. That was fun. Slayer getting gunblade resistance immunity. I suppose it would kind of need it, wouldn't it? Because Slayer without a gunblade, I mean, you're not doing much. Can't stop the squall experience. Vile humor. I mean, almost, yeah. I mean, that is like the general opinion of humor, isn't it? Remember trying to gather steer herbs and getting jumped by these guys? Yeah, I'm sure they moved the steer herbs because I'm sure these used to be just outside steer camp. But they've moved them now, and it is right on the path where all the Gigantics recons patrol, which if you're lower level is a bit of a problem. For me it's fine because I'm about 20 odd levels or higher than them, but yeah. I will say that is one slight criticism I've got of the game at the minute, is that I feel like they're not really catering to low level like new players much at the minute. Because even things like the limited time quest, as far as I'm aware, I think there is only like a level 100 version. Yeah, they bunched all the gatherables together. I think they moved some of them as well where they were primarily based. Actually, yeah, what emergency quests are on? Is there anything actually worth running? Solus isn't worth doing at the minute. Aegis really isn't worth doing. Dalian isn't really worth doing. Glove Style Suppression isn't too bad, but can't really bother doing it. If it was Vael, like regular Vael, maybe I would have done it. The cater to new players, you can always spend money to skip the story, right? Oh yeah, you can, yeah. Not that I would. It's really not worth it. But yeah, if you got a class counter, you can go skip gameplay. You can go class level 80. So let's say I wanted to increase my Braver to level 80. You can do it, and it'll cost you AC. Do I actually have AC at the minute? I do have AC at the minute, so I don't want to do it in case it accidentally spends it. Yeah, it takes you to level 80, but to be fair, getting from 80 to 105 really doesn't take long. It's a weird game, NGS. It feels like the opposite of PSO1, where, you know, PSO1, it got a lot more grinded the higher you got. In this, it almost feels like it gets easier to level the higher you get. I think it's because the LTQs and everything give so much experience that you level super fast. Yeah, 105 is the current cap at the minute. They just increased it fairly recently. I think that's accurate. It's really weird, isn't it, how it gets faster to level? Seems like 100 was the cap for literally years. I can't remember when they increased the cap to 100 now. It has been a while though. Yeah, for sure. Actual NGS gameplay on a Skyly stream. Who are you and what have you done with a real British man? Says a lot, doesn't it, when people don't expect NGS gameplay? Yeah, I do, contrary to popular belief, I do actually play this game. I just don't stream it very often. Let's do another Sonic run because I do need the stuff from this, so... Oh, it's changed now, actually. It's now Sonic Sprint. Huh. I wonder if it's like, what, maybe every hour or so, maybe it changes then? Yes, this is the original one. I like this one because it's a lot simpler and it plays undefeatable. This is the older one, yeah. They did rerun it 1 year and they removed undefeatable from it, which I really didn't like, but they have put undefeatable back in. Yeah, you can tell we're playing NGS by that. I'm saying nothing. I told you my characters are fairly restrained in comparison. Jesus bazongas. Yeah, pretty much. See, I feel like I have an inherent disadvantage in this quest because I have European ping. They copyrighted themselves for undefeatable. Which way are you going? You're going that way. I'll go this way then. Yeah, it's the main reason I turned off monetization for the stream on YouTube because, yeah, Sonic stuff is like literal DMCA hell. Oh, they swiped the Chaos Emerald. What always surprises me on this spawn is that no one goes for these things at the back, so they just shoot you for the whole trial. Like, these are not really that hard to kill. I know why they do it, it's because they want points for killing the boss. The booba gives them extra speed. Is that how it works? Oh, come on, man. Really? The Beyblade P8 on blades is so... it's so bloody weird. I kinda like it, but it is really weird. Photon absorption rate up the more skin, it's lore approved. Oh, they love stealing those Chaos Emeralds. I did get one run a few days ago where I got about 5 Chaos Emeralds. It just seemed like no one was getting them. This is not that run. I mean, the big booba thing in NGS, that's been since PSO2. I think NGS has just made it worse. I think that double hit the boss there. Here we go, undefeatable. That's such a good song. Like, I would legit listen to Undefeatable, even if I didn't know it was Sonic from Sonic. I love metal anyway, so... But apparently enhances magic in the Star Ocean universe, since every female magician, 95% of them has big guns. Yeah, magic power is stored in the chest. Clearly didn't apply in PSO. Yeah, I'm quite glad they brought this LTQ back, because I really enjoy it. I know some people don't like them reusing content, but I think for stuff like this, I really don't mind it, because it feels different to the regular kind of gameplay, and it's just fun. Yeah, the main thing they did in this one this year is they changed the boss at the end. So I think it used to be... Was it Herzig, the Starless, like, Dietil thing? It's now Giga. It actually hits really hard, honestly. I will say that whirlwind attack that he does is great for balancing with blades, because you can just counter it constantly. Yeah, so far in the fight he spawns this guy, and this guy basically shields him, so you have to kill this guy next. That did 529,000 damage. I think it's because you get massive attack buffs the more Chaos Emeralds you get. Yeah, I like this boss Draffy, honestly. I liked him in PSO2 as well. So, anything good? We've got a half finale capsule, that's not too bad. There is still a lot of trash in the rewards though. Yes, it seems to have changed over to Sonic Sprint now, so... I was under the impression it changed every day, but maybe it's every hour. I'll tell you what, we'll change character again. At least then you get to see a few different classes. So I've got a few options. I could do Force, I can do Ranger, or I can do Gunner. My fighter is not geared at all, so I can't do her. Do you have any preference? Otherwise, I do need to level my Gunner, so I may use Gunner. Yeah, go on, we'll use Gunner. I still feel that Gunner is miserable, though. It still needs more buffs. But for this quest, it doesn't really matter too much. Gunner feels very weird when Ranger is right next to it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really see any real reason to use Rifle on Gunner, unless you're subclassing Ranger and use it for the weapon action and for the grenades. But twin machine guns, to me, still need buffing quite a bit. They did do an update to Gunner quite a while back, but I just don't think it was anywhere near enough. Yeah, this character is still kind of in poverty gear. Yeah, she's actually in more poverty gear than Taker. I think for her it's because I don't feel the need to invest massively in her because Gunner just isn't great at the minute. It's a shame because I do actually enjoy the class. At least people are actually running this. I was worried that no one would run the LTQ with there being an urgent quest on. I think the issue is at the minute is that a lot of the urgent quests are just not really worth doing, so people just tend to favour the LTQ at the minute. Come on, we need one more person. There we go. But yeah, I'm still repping PSO. I've still got the Yasminkovs, so. Yeah, honestly, I just feel like Gunner needs a lot of buffs to its PAs and maybe change how the chain system works a bit as well. I don't like on Gunner how you have to start and end chains with a charge Fortinart because quite often, particularly on harder content, you just won't have that many windows to actually use a charge PA without getting interrupted. So it makes it very awkward to maintain chain with Gunner. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a good Gunner player because it is a class I don't play that often, but it just feels very awkward to play at the minute. Well, very awkward to get good damage out of is probably the best way to put it. It really didn't go in here. There's literally a switch to press in there that gives you loads of free rings. So you build up all that chain and then you end it. And it just feels like you get like no damage. Also, again, no one is killing the things at the back. Okay, now they have. I think one of the issues might be is that just honestly charging the PAs seems like it takes a little while. So even if they just like shorten the charge time for the PAs, that would help. I mean, I have given it some things more recently that do help it a little bit. So it does have a skill called Hail of Bullets that adds a lot to your chain. Yeah, I mean, 53k damage from like 80 chain. It's okay, but in comparison to other classes, it feels so far behind. Someone's way ahead, they're gonna get that emerald. It does have some decent tools for actually building the chain up okay, but it just feels like you waste so much time building chain. You don't really get much damage out of it. So I'll use Hail of Bullets in a second after this one. And there's a cooldown before hitting chain again, which kind of sucks. I think at high chain there should be no cooldown. So there you go. So Hail of Bullets does add a lot to the chain, which is nice. It does help. Honestly, I think the main use for Gunner at the minute is to be a PP battery for other classes. Because if you chain to 150 and then break chain, you basically give a load of PP to everyone. So rangers quite often like having Gunners because a Gunner can act as a PP battery for a ranger to keep spamming the launcher PA, the laser one. Fear Razor. But when your biggest use is to be a battery for someone else, it says a lot about the class. If you wonder what the point of picking the rings up is, so you get points for collecting them. Whoever has the most points at the end wins, so to speak. But the thing is, the bonus that you get from having the Chaos Emeralds and everything kind of overrides that, so it's better to kind of skip rings and then go for the Chaos Emeralds if you want high points. Me, I'm just doing this for clears anyway, so I'm not really bothered about getting the Chaos Emeralds. If there's one there, I'll take it, but... like that one, but you actually got one there. So we do get them occasionally. Oh, this song is so good. Yeah, so we're now getting 120 points per ring instead of 100. And that stacks depending on how many Chaos Emeralds you have. Too slow. I'm trying to go fast, like Sonic. The thing is, got to go fast with EU ping. I'm also playing Gunner completely wrong. I should not be that far away. And Gunner is basically a melee class, honestly. It's a really weird class, honestly, because I think when you first try playing it, if you're not familiar with the class, you kind of want to stay away from enemies because, you know, you're a range class, you know, you have guns. But the way it's designed is you get an actual damage bonus for being close to enemies with Gunner. Also, if you counter with the weapon action, you get some extra chain, which is nice. Alright, I've got 150, so I need to break chain now. I like how there's some people still going for Giga. It's like, you're not going to do damage to him while other enemies are alive. I think another way they could make Gunner better as well is maybe make it so that when you do a photon blast, it gives you a big chain afterwards. So you could use PB and then immediately get like a chain ender after it. That would be really cool. That did 3,000 damage. I don't know what they fed this Giga, but... Someone's saying, I heard there was a Phantasy Star Online 2. Yeah, go and play it. Yeah, we were not even anywhere close to rankings. But that is the life of a Gunner. Oh, we've got the camo for extreme gear, but I've already got that. It's worth nothing anywhere, so... Wow, we didn't even get a ticket that time. That sucks. Yeah, I still feel that they've got quite a lot of work to do for Gunner. I think Waker's in a similar boat, but at least Waker is actually still decent at the minute. But that is getting an update fairly soon. There is nothing on the roadmap for Gunner. I think the only thing they've given Gunner recently is they made it so that, or they're making it so that when you go into Mars, you don't lose chain, I think. So you'll retain your chain, and then when you come out of Mars, you'll keep whatever chain you had. Which is nice, but it doesn't really solve the problem of Gunner being terrible. So hopefully Gunner gets some love at some point again, but I'm not confident. Yeah, I think we'll maybe end that one there for today, I think. So on Tuesday, there should be a video for members and non-members. I think for non-members, it will be an NGS video. For members, probably a PSO video. As I said, I am off all this week from work, so if you do want to do Ep1 challenge mode on PSO, again, there is a thread on the Discord in the PSO chat channel. Make sure you post in there if you are interested. If there isn't enough interest in it, we can move it to another time. That's fine. It's just that I am off this week, so I've got a bit of time to do it. There'll also be a stream on Wednesday, which should be Phantasy Star 3 again. And then next weekend will probably be PSO, because it should be Rare Drop Week. So we'll probably do some PSO BB next Sunday. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream. I know it's not often we play NGS, but I thought we'd do a little bit of NGS at least today, since we haven't done it for a while. We'll probably do some more PSO2, maybe in the next few weeks. I realise PSO is on a bit of a quiet period at the minute, so maybe we'll check out the other games a bit more over the next few weeks until the anniversary. Then we'll pivot over to PSO almost entirely during the anniversary. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream. If you have, please consider liking, subscribing. You can join as a member on YouTube or sub on Twitch if you want to. You can follow on XL Bluesky at SectionSkyly. I have a Discord channel you can join, which I mentioned, which should be in the description underneath the player. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next one. See you guys. Anniversary is SGS time, no cope. Thanks to stream. Hopefully, I mean, if we don't get an SGS this time, then we do start coping really hard. See you guys.